Now, when MG released an all-electric estate car, it didn't necessarily bring the wow factor. It looked pretty much like a carbon copy of existing estate cars on the market. However, the new and improved MG5 is a strong contender to secure title of best estate car on the market. So here are 5 reasons why you should get yourself an MG5. However, before we go on to the video, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and also if you are in the market for a new or used vehicle, then make sure to go to the Holdcroft website. Link is in the description. So point number 1 of why you should get yourself an MG5 is the design. Now, this new fresh face that MG have implemented to their all-electric estate car, to me, is a very good improvement from the previous model. This is a very refined, modern, and you know what, good-looking design. It very much reminisces the MG4, you know, just grille down the bottom, these lines that curve in. It has that replica of the MG4, and potentially MG are wanting all their electric and future electric models to have a bit of similarity, and I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. The LED headlights are massive, and I also like this little sort of glass panel in the middle of them, makes it very striking. A few dips in the bonnet give it a bit of a sporty look. You know, estate cars like the old MG5 usually have a bit of a boring, there's not really much about it. You know, the previous MG5 just had a standard front grille with not much going on. This has got nice curves, obviously different segments to different grills. I like the little chrome strip that runs around the middle. You have chrome strips which run along the side of the vehicle and chrome door handles. Also got roof bars. So for me, the design and look, the updated design and look of the MG5 is a reason why the MG5 could be classed as the best estate car on the market, because it's not like your typical estate car, somewhat like the previous MG5 look. You know, it looks a bit sporty, it's refined, it's a unique styling. Gone are the days of the, you know, the boring estate car where it's literally just car. This actually has some style, some design. I like it. So point 2 then, and why I think the MG5 is a strong contender for best estate car on the market, it's because of the interior. Now, I mentioned when talking about the exterior design that the MG5 almost has some character about it. It's not a typical estate car, has a sporty look, has some nice design, has some nice styling. The interior is exactly the same. I really like the contrasting material to this chrome panel here, and also the blue strips which go all the way around. You know, you have it on the air vent, you have it here, you have it on the door cards, and also blue stitching on the seats. I just think it gives it a bit of an edge from your typical estate car. You know, it's not just boring, it's not just components thrown in to be practical. It has a nice design. One thing I do really like is this floating center console, you know, because it allows for so much storage underneath, and also it just looks really nice, and it's a really comfortable height to have your armrest when you're driving. Here you have your gear shifter, your drive modes, and your regenerative braking system, which I will get onto later into the video. I also really like the drive display. You know, it has a screen in the middle which can obviously show all your different driving information. Steering wheel, to be honest, nothing special here. It does feel a bit like a state of car steering wheel. Leather wrap with obviously, you know, the dotted features, nothing special, but you know what, it's not exactly bad. 10.25 infotainment system, and that obviously has built-in navigation, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which is wired. You also have all your climate controls in here, which I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of climate controls which are inside the infotainment system. I'd rather just have controls. However, having it in this system means this section is more refined and it allows for this floating console. So do you know what, I can somewhat bear with that. So you have 360 parking cameras, and one thing I do find quite funny, to be honest, is if you press the 3D icon, then it comes up with the car. It almost looks like the car on GTA 4 on PlayStation 2. It has that sort of graphic. It's quite funny, but you know what, it's very practical. So the interior, to me, is just a valid reason. If you're in the market for an estate car, the MG5 should definitely be a choice up there. You know, it has so many different unique features and styling over your bog standard estate cars. You know, it has different components, makes it unique. I really like this floating center console. I know I said that before, but I just think it's a really nice design. Allows for more storage. Obviously you've got USBs down here. Overall then, there's not much to complain about. Pretty much all positive. Point 3 then is space and storage inside the MG5, with the MG5 being classed as an estate car, a typical characteristic of this vehicle. You're going to want lots of space and storage, and you do get that with the MG5, because in the boot capacity, if I can open, where is it? because in your boot you have 578 litres of boot capacity, which is a decent amount of space. That also rises to 1,378 litres with the back seats folded down. You know, if you're in the market for an estate car, then you might be using it to go on long trips, you might be using it for work, so you'll want a big storage, and you do get that in the boot. You also have lots of space and storage inside the car itself. So I mentioned before about the floating centre console. That allows for so much storage under here. You also have 2 cup holders and a nice deep storage pocket here. In your doors you also have decent amount of storage and also a little slot here. Glove box, just usual standard, nothing special there. When we come to the back, you also have decent amount of storage. You obviously have a little compartment in your armrest and also in your door. You also have a nice leather wrapped folding armrest with 2 cup holders in. And one thing I do like is a nice little storage pocket here. For example, you've got 2 USBs in the back. If you want to charge your phone on a long trip, you know, for your rear passengers, quite easily pop it in there. Very handy tool. Now, before we go any further, here are 3 little things that I really like about the MG5. First, I mentioned it before, but these blue accents in the front interior, to me, they just add class, they add style. It makes it different from estate cars on the market. Really like them. Point 2 is the comfort of the back seats. Now, there's a lot of cars on the market that somewhat just throw the back seats in without any really thought or care. The seats, leather wrapped, really, really spongy, really comfy. And also the headrests. Look how nice and spongy they are. Normally, there's a lot of headrests on the market that are just there. These are really, really nice. Another point about the comfort of the back of the MG5 is the fact that the floor is all flat. The middle person isn't going to have to awkwardly put the legs either side of some weird little bump here. It's all flat, makes it really comfy. The third small thing that I really like about the MG5 is just how fun it is to drive an estate car that is this fun. That's great work, MG. I mean, the acceleration is brilliant. So then, 3 slightly annoying things about the MG5 is the fact that in the back, you don't have them blue accents, the nice blue accents like you do in the front. You know, you still have the blue stitching, but where's it here, MG? It would be nice if that was blue as well, would add to the whole feel of the car. The second slightly annoying thing about the MG5, but this is me being a bit of a diva, is the fact that the electric charger cover is quite awkward to open. You know, it'd be nice if it comes on your car key, but the fact is you have to push it, and if you only get it in a certain spot will it open. It's this top corner here, everywhere else, but then sometimes it doesn't open, sometimes it works somewhere else. There's a little bit of a faff sometimes, and I can imagine it being really awkward in winter. The third and final thing that I'm slightly annoyed about the MG5 is, although I really like the 3D parking cameras, I think it's great technology, I'm not the biggest fan of this. I feel like this could be more flush. I feel like it looks a bit ugly pointing out like that. Looks a bit like a Beetle. And the fourth reason why I think the MG5 is a strong contender for best estate car is the driving performance. Now, the feel of the car when you sat here and holding the steering wheel, to be honest, does feel like an estate car. But when it comes to the actual performance, that's where the fun really starts, because what MG have done is they've made a really exciting drive in an estate car. And that's a bit hard to do. Estate cars are somewhat just practical cars. They get from A to B and also like take a lot of stuff from A to B. So the fact they made it fun, that's great work. Because the MG5 could do 0 to 60 in just under 7.7 seconds for an estate car. And the fact that the acceleration comes with 280 Newton meters of torque, it means you get thrown back into your seat. You get this really exciting drive. Also, with multiple driving modes, you get comfort, eco and sport. You have driving modes to suit all, but the sport, let me tell you, it's really fun. So since there's nothing behind us, we're going to slow down slightly, and I just want to show you again how much you can get thrown back into your seat with this car. You ready? I mean, it's an estate car. I keep forgetting it's an estate car. And I think that's what's so great about having an all-electric estate car, is it makes it fun, it makes it exciting. You're not just having this really annoying sort of engine sound that doesn't sound nice at all, and you're just sort of gently plodding on. It's so fun. I keep saying it's fun, but oh, I'm on the whale of a time. Now, early on in the video, I mentioned there's a button next to your driving mode selector, and it's labelled KERS. Now, you're probably thinking, what the flipping heck is KERS? Now, that is your regenerative braking mode, and it's seen in quite a lot of EVs on the market. And essentially what that means is you can somewhat get one pedal control. You have 3 modes, you have 1, 2, 3, 1 being the lowest, so you don't necessarily get automatic braking. On 3 though, if we're accelerating and then we lift foot the accelerator, you can I mean, it's hard to see, but the car will brake naturally for you. That also means it's just a bit of a comfier drive. You only really have to use one pedal to control the car, and also it means you get more out of your electric range, which, may I add, is actually really impressive on the MG5, because this car can do 250 miles electric range. Coming on to your driver safety and convenience features, and the MG5 has the MG Pilot system implemented in this vehicle, which is MG's assistance driving system. This comes with an array of features, including hill start assist. You also have hill descent control. You also come with lane departure warning and lane keep assist, and that lane keep assist somewhat means that the car somewhat drives itself. I mean, you do have to keep your hands on the steering wheel, otherwise it will sound an alarm. You also have traffic jam assist, front collision assist, pedestrian warning, cycle detection, speed warning, which also comes with a speed limiter and cruise control. So you have a lot of driving and convenience safety features. And finally, point number 5 is the economical benefit of having an all-electric estate car. Now, the MG5 runs off a 61 kilowatt per hour motor, and that can get 140 miles on a fast charger in just 42 minutes. And you might be thinking 42 minutes, 140 miles is a bit excessive. However, you can actually get from 0% to 100% in 9 hours 15 minutes with your standard home charger, which I know 9 hours 15 minutes is a ridiculous amount of time just to refuel the car. However, when you get home from work, plug it in and it will charge fully overnight. So I've gone on a website called Zapmaps, and they have a free online calculator which help compare the running cost of an EV compared to a petrol or diesel car. So if we select MG5, then also put it against a similar car in its class, say we do 50 miles a day for work, energy tariff, let's say 35p per kilowatt, and also my local petrol station is 139 pence per litre for petrol. Now, as you can see, across a year you will save £913 using an all-electric estate car to a petrol one. Now obviously that figures on average, and obviously energy costs can rise, go down, etc, etc. But an all-electric estate car can help you save a lot of money. So then, there you have it, the new and updated MG5, an all-electric estate car which can help you save pounds if you're doing a long journey. Also, with this updated new look, it's also one of the most stylish and, to be honest, characteristic estate cars on the market. It's not just your typical boring estate car. This has class, it has style, and to be honest, has a bit of a sporty look with a similar style interior that has class and also that very good performance. To me, the MG5 is a strong contender for best estate car on the market, and also the fact the MG5 starts at just over £30,000, so it doesn't necessarily break the bank for a brand new estate car, and also helps to save money on them running costs. And if you have watched this video and you think I want to give the MG5 a try, whether you want more info or whether you want to book a test drive, then call your nearest MG Holdcroft dealership. All contact details can be found on the Holdcroft website. Link will be in the description.